How women react to men they secretly find attractive. Old Stoic wisdom. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. Aristotle. When a woman secretly finds a man attractive, her reactions are often subtle, instinctive, and powerful, yet rarely discussed. These cues are not only telling, but surprisingly accurate. In this guide, we'll explore this hidden language of attraction and uncover 9 other psychological signals that reveal what she's truly thinking. Stay tuned to decode her silent signals and gain a deeper understanding of attraction. 1. She starts answering questions you never asked. When a woman is genuinely attracted to you, her behavior speaks louder than her words. It's not just what she says, it's how she responds, how she positions herself around you. One of the clearest signs is when she starts answering questions you never even asked. This isn't just random chatter, it's her way of navigating the subtle dance of attraction. You see, when a woman feels drawn to a man, she instinctively projects anticipation, waiting for your reaction. It's in the way she offers explanations for things like her weekend plans or the outfit she's wearing, often preemptively saying, "This isn't what it looks like." This is not an admission of guilt or insecurity, far from it. It's her way of seeking your approval, but not in the overt sense that many might assume. It's psychological, driven by a need for validation. She's preparing herself for judgment, seeking a kind of unspoken confirmation that you won't criticize or reject her. It's crucial that you, as a man, remain grounded and hold your frame. Don't be the one to react. Let her take the lead in this subtle exchange. The less you say, the more power you hold in that moment. This is where Old Stoic wisdom proves its worth. The Stoics taught that true strength comes from mastering one's emotions and responses. In this case, the less you react or over-explain yourself, the more you become the embodiment of Stoic principles, calm, unshaken, and in control. By doing so, you automatically take the psychological upper hand. When she explains herself without any pressure from you, remember this: you've already won the psychological ground. Your silence is not weakness, but power. When you practice the iron mind of the Stoic, you resist the urge to jump into her narrative, to defend or justify. Instead, you hold your ground, firmly planted in your own principles and energy. This approach commands respect and subtly shifts the dynamics of attraction in your favor. As the ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Apply this to your approach with women. You don't need to seek validation or engage in unnecessary explanations. By not needing to fill the air with constant words, you project the strength of your character. You make your presence felt without ever needing to prove anything. That's the essence of what it means to embody Stoic principles in your interactions. You must understand that attraction, especially from women, is not about what you do, but who you are. Don't overextend yourself. Don't over-explain. Hold your ground with an iron mind. It's not about winning her attention. It's about maintaining your Stoic composure, which in turn makes her want to draw closer. This, ultimately, is how attraction works. It's not the forceful pursuit, but rather the controlled stillness that draws others in. You must be deliberate, quiet, and confident in your responses. Let your silence speak for you. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, by not reacting, you become the force that shapes the interaction. When you stop chasing and start holding your ground, the psychological dynamic shifts in your favor. Now, I challenge you to reflect. How often have you caught yourself over-explaining or reacting to something a woman said or did? How could you apply the power of silence and Stoic wisdom to maintain control over your own responses and emotions? 2. Her voice shifts mid-conversation. When you find yourself engaging with a woman who secretly finds you attractive, pay attention to the subtle shifts in her behavior, particularly in her voice. Attraction is a force that disrupts her usual patterns, often making her voice betray her emotions without her even realizing it. You'll notice her speaking faster at first, possibly out of excitement or nervous energy. and then suddenly slowing down, as if trying to regain control over herself. Her pitch may drop unexpectedly, a silent signal that her body is reacting to your presence, attempting to self-regulate the rising arousal. This isn't something she's doing intentionally. It's simply how the body works under the influence of attraction. Behavioral studies, rooted in the Stoic rules of human interaction, reveal that women unconsciously adjust their vocal tone around men they find dominant, those who command attention without needing to assert it. These shifts are natural and should never be pointed out or commented on. Instead, remain calm and steady in the face of this subtle tension. The more composed and centered you are, the more destabilized she will become. Your silence and control serve as a reminder of your dominance and your calmness in the face of what she feels, which only intensifies her attraction. Remember, the old Stoic teachings emphasize control over self and others, and in these moments it's your ability to remain unfazed that becomes your greatest strength. Don't rush, don't overreact, simply observe. This is the path of wisdom, maintaining your composure while she adjusts to the shift in dynamics. Your steady presence becomes the anchor she subconsciously looks for, anchoring her in a way she can't quite understand, but will undeniably feel. Her voice, her shifting tempo, is just a signal of her attraction to you, but it's your control over the rhythm of the interaction that will determine how far it goes. Don't try to change her behavior or rush things. Your strength lies in guiding the conversation naturally, not forcing it. This is the modern application of ancient wisdom, the Stoic rules in action. Stay centered, and the world will bend around your calm confidence. If you understand the power of calmness in the face of attraction, drop a comment right now. I control the rhythm of my presence. And remember, true strength isn't about asserting power, it's about maintaining unwavering composure. 3. She becomes overly agreeable, then suddenly challenges you. When you understand how attraction works, you'll notice something fascinating. She'll seem overly agreeable at first, nodding, laughing, and affirming your ideas like she's in complete harmony with your thoughts. But just as quickly, she'll challenge you, pushing back with surprising sharpness, questioning your statements or even your decisions. This is not about mood swings or unpredictability. It's something deeper. It's the cognitive dissonance created by attraction. Her emotional brain wants to connect, but her ego wants to test your strength, your leadership, your authority. It's a power struggle. Make no mistake. This is not her being difficult. This is her testing the boundaries. She wants to see if you can hold your ground. Can you? Can you stand firm in your position without faltering? This is where true Stoic wisdom comes into play. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoics, taught us the value of maintaining our emotional center in all situations. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. This is your moment. Your response needs to be one of controlled certainty. When she challenges you, don't shrink back, don't get defensive, and don't try to convince her with desperation. You must meet her challenge with calm authority, unshaken, resolute. Your unwavering strength will draw her closer, subconsciously guiding her to follow your frame, to respect your leadership. She may even become more attracted to you because of this unshakable confidence. The essence of Stoicism is that we control ourselves, no matter the external forces. In this moment, when she challenges you, it's about not allowing her to push you off balance. Stand tall and let her see that your inner strength is unyielding. Remember, this is not about fighting her or being combative. It's about maintaining your own sense of self, your own center of gravity. Her attraction creates friction, yes, but it's the type of friction that will bring her closer when you remain calm, confident, and unwavering. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You must act with conviction, no hesitation, no wavering. She'll recognize it, feel it, and be drawn to it. Now, let me tell you this. This is a key to true power. It's not just about being right or proving something to her. It's about your ability to control yourself in the face of her challenge. Life is filled with these tests, whether in relationships, at work, or in everyday encounters, the world is always going to push against you. But it's how you react that defines you. You have to rise above the chaos, to remain stoic, grounded, and unwavering. When you do, when you stand tall in your truth, others will follow, willingly, even subconsciously. Don't just react, respond with mastery, do it for yourself, and you will begin to see the profound impact it has on everyone around you. This is the power of Stoicism, the power of Epictetus's teachings. It's not just a philosophy, it's a practical tool for mastering your life. And when you master your life, when you hold your emotional center, women will naturally fall in line, respecting your authority and drawn to your strength. That's how attraction works. That's how you become the man who others gravitate toward. You must take control of your response, not letting the turbulence of the moment shake your foundation. So don't just be passive. Don't just wait and wonder what she's thinking. Stand firm. Lead with clarity. Let her see the power of your emotional self-control. She'll respect it. She'll be attracted to it. And you'll become the man she can't resist. Remember, it's not just about the reaction. It's about how you hold your ground when she tests you. That's your moment to shine. Make it count. And as you do, you'll find yourself winning in every aspect of life. 4. She fidgets with objects, not herself. When it comes to understanding how women react to men they secretly find attractive, you must remember that human behavior, while subtle, is a reflection of deeper emotional currents. Let's start with a simple yet profound observation. When she fidgets with objects around her, like her phone, glass, or jewelry, she is not merely distracted, she is processing her internal emotions in your presence. It's important to note that this is not an action tied to her physical body, but rather to objects that can be manipulated. The classic image of a woman twirling her hair or crossing her legs may come to mind, but these are only surface-level cues. The real signal comes from how she handles items in her environment. If she rotates, taps, or repositions something, this is what we call subconscious displacement. It's the mind's way of relieving the nervous tension stirred by your proximity. Now, let's not mistake this for indecision or discomfort. Far from it. It's an expression of internal turbulence, signaling that she is processing how she feels about you. But here's the key point. How do you respond to this? The answer lies in an old Stoic principle, the concept of maintaining an iron mind. Men who follow this wisdom don't chase these signals. They don't react or rush to comfort or alleviate the tension. Instead, they stay rooted in their own calm and stillness, letting her handle her internal discomfort while they maintain psychological dominance. It's a powerful stance. It speaks volumes about your inner strength and confidence. Remember, he who is brave is free. As Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, the true test of confidence is not how you make her feel comfortable, but how you remain unshaken when the environment around you is charged with energy, whether positive or negative. The calmness you project is like a still lake, with ripples only coming from the outside world. The principle of psychological dominance is not about controlling her emotions, but about controlling your own. It's about the ability to remain unflinching in the face of subtle behavioral signals. Women, often unconsciously, look for men who exude composure and confidence, qualities that are nurtured by the old Stoic wisdom. When you are anchored in your presence, when you possess the iron mind that Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus spoke of, you become someone who does not bend or break in response to external stimuli. You remain still and unmoved. The tension that she experiences, though palpable, will dissolve in your presence because you are not affected by it. In real life, this advice is about cultivating that sense of inner stillness. It's not just about appearing calm, it's about genuinely possessing that inner fortitude. When a woman feels attracted to you and starts to fidget, it's an opportunity for you to show the strength of your character. Instead of trying to rush in with a reassuring word or a physical gesture, stay grounded. Remain composed. Let her work through her own nervous energy, knowing that the tension is a sign of her subconscious attraction. This is the essence of the old Stoic wisdom, and it works. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. As Seneca famously said, reminding us that emotional reactions, however strong they may seem, are often illusions. So don't chase after those signals or try to make her feel more at ease. Let her handle the nerves. The most attractive thing you can do in those moments is to stay still, calm and unaffected. This will not only show her that you are a man who is in control of his emotions, but it will also create an undeniable aura of confidence. In this way, you gain the psychological edge, and she will be drawn to you even more. That's the power of Stoic principles, living with an unshakable calm that others can't help but notice. And if you agree with this, drop a comment right now. I am unshakable in my presence. And remember, true strength is not in reaction, but in stillness. 5. She uses vague emotional language around attractive men. Women, when they are drawn to a man they secretly find attractive, often speak in vague emotional terms. It's as if logic, the rational, calculating part of her mind, retreats into the background, and what remains is a spontaneous, almost impulsive reaction. She may say something like, "You're so something," or "This feels different," as though searching for words that can capture a feeling too elusive for the confines of language. It's a moment where attraction stirs beyond the boundaries of reason, and she finds herself expressing an emotion she can't quite name. This isn't just idle chatter or a passing thought. It's a reflection of something deeper, a pull she feels instinctively, yet cannot define. And in this moment, you must understand that she's caught in the tension between emotion and logic, and you, as the man, have the power to let that tension remain. Do not attempt to solve it for her. Don't rush to fill the blank she's left in her words. You must allow that uncertainty to stay suspended in the air. Why? Because attraction, much like the ancient paths of wisdom laid out by the Old Stoics, thrives in the tension, in the unknown, in the space where reason does not yet rule. In today's fast-paced world, where everything is expected to be clear-cut, predictable, and easily understood, the ability to embrace ambiguity is a powerful tool. Just as the Stoic rules remind us to remain unshaken by the external world, you must cultivate the ability to remain unmoved by the need to instantly define or resolve what's happening. When a woman expresses this vagueness, it's not a signal for you to attempt to analyze or decode her emotions right away. On the contrary, it's an invitation for you to hold your ground, to embrace the tension, and allow her to unravel the emotion at her own pace. This is where wisdom lies, knowing when to act and when to remain still. In doing so, you embody the strength of the Old Stoic principles. You don't rush, you don't falter, and you certainly don't force the moment to resolve itself. Instead, you accept that not every emotional expression requires a solution. Consider how many times in modern life you are expected to have an answer to everything, whether at work, in relationships, or even in casual interactions. We are often pressured to provide immediate clarity. But wisdom, as the Stoics taught us, is not about forcing understanding where it doesn't belong. Instead, it is about mastery over the impulse to act or speak too quickly. In your interactions with women, especially those who may be subtly attracted to you, it's vital that you understand the power of restraint. The more you can hold your ground in these moments, the more magnetic you become. Attraction isn't always about outward displays of confidence or action. Sometimes it's about your ability to stand still and let the moment breathe. The Old Stoic understanding of self-mastery is exactly what you need in these situations. You must be the calm in the storm of uncertainty, the steady presence that does not feel the need to rush, but rather allows things to unfold naturally. In conclusion, understand this simple truth. You don't need to rush to fill in the gaps when a woman speaks in vague emotional terms. Attraction thrives on this uncertainty. The Old Stoic way teaches us that it is in the tension, the pause, the moments where neither party knows exactly where things are headed, that real connections are made. Hold your ground, let the space linger, and allow her emotions to come to the surface at her own pace. By embracing the Stoic rules of patience, wisdom, and composure, you'll find that women will be drawn to you, not because you solved the mystery, but because you were strong enough to remain present and let the mystery remain unsolved for just a little longer. 6. She adjusts the space between you repeatedly. When a woman secretly finds you attractive, her behavior reveals more than she consciously intends. One subtle yet unmistakable sign is how she adjusts the space between you, not just once, but repeatedly. She leans in, then pulls back, crosses her legs toward you, then shifts them away. It's not indecision or confusion. It's her instincts calibrating. Her body is testing you, measuring your response to proximity. She's studying how you react, silently probing to see if you'll fold under the subtle pressure or maintain your composure. The common mistake many men make is to mirror her actions. When she leans back, they lean in. This is a sign of weakness. You're allowing her movements to dictate yours. But here's the truth. You are the center of this interaction. You are the gravity, and she is the orbit. Your posture, your calm, your control, this is the power. When she tests the space between you, do not shrink, do not bend, do not chase her. Hold your ground. You must embody the stillness of a Stoic. As Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Control yourself, for that is the essence of power. Be unmoved by her subtle shifts, remain firm in your place, and watch as she becomes more intrigued, more drawn to your unshakable presence. It's a delicate dance, but one you must lead. She may try to test you, pulling closer, then retreating, but remember, your power is in your posture. You don't chase her movements. You set the tone. You are the constant, and she is the variable. And just as the wise say, the wise man does not make himself a servant to the desires of others. You are not a servant to her proximity. Control is yours. Let her orbit. You stay grounded. You are the Stoic, and in your stillness, you win. You set the rules, you hold the power. Don't just observe. Become the force that shapes the interaction. Stand tall, remain firm, and let her adjust. The game is yours to win. As Epictetus would remind us, Stoicism isn't about the absence of desire. It's about mastering how we respond to it. Keep your center, and you will draw her in. Your stillness is your strength. It's how you win. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. 7. She randomly brings up other men, then watches you. When a woman casually mentions other men, whether it's an ex, someone who texted her, or a guy she works with, she's not just sharing information with you, she's testing you. She's measuring your response, probing to see how secure and in control you are. It's called competitive displacement, and it's a strategy rooted in her subconscious to understand how you view yourself and your position in her life. Understand this. Real masculine power doesn't flinch. It doesn't get defensive, jealous, or insecure. Instead, it remains calm, centered, and unbothered. Your reaction, or lack thereof, tells her everything she needs to know about you. Do not react with emotion. Don't let her see you squirm or feel threatened. Stand firm, unaffected, and most importantly, secure in your own worth. This is the embodiment of old Stoic wisdom, the iron mind, the principle that you must control what you can and let go of what you cannot. Women are naturally drawn to strength, not to vulnerability. If you let her see that you're rattled, you've already lost the game. Your strength is what keeps her interested. Your quiet confidence, the magnet that pulls her toward you. She's not loyal to names or identities. She's loyal to strength. Just like the ancient Stoic principles teach us, you must be the rock, unyielding in the face of external turmoil. You must master your emotions and never allow anyone to shake your core. That's the way forward. Iron-willed, strong, and unmovable. It's your ability to remain composed, even when she throws emotional curveballs your way. That proves your worth. If you want to keep her attention, you need to embrace this wisdom. When you show your power by being indifferent to external challenges, you will naturally rise in her eyes. Don't forget this. Strength is silent but undeniable. Stay firm in your posture, unwavering in your resolve, and confident in your ability to stay detached. That's the secret of the Stoic warrior. He faces adversity with calm, collected power. So the next time she throws in a name or casually mentions another man, don't flinch. Simply smile, remain calm, and remember, you are the standard she will always compare others to. 8. Her sarcasm spikes, especially when you're calm. When a woman finds a man secretly attractive, her reactions can be subtle but unmistakable. One key sign is an increase in sarcasm, particularly when you remain calm in situations where others might lose their composure. This isn't an expression of hostility, it's her way of testing boundaries. Through irony, teasing, or even playfully harsh remarks, she is inviting a response from you, but not in a typical way. What she truly seeks is how you handle the situation, not whether you react emotionally. This is the ultimate test of your masculine presence. You see, women often use sarcasm as a veil to hide their feelings. It's an old, almost instinctual tactic. She wants to provoke a response to confirm your strength, but at the same time, she's trying to measure your ability to stay unshaken. The more serene you remain, the more curious she becomes. The Stoic rules of engagement demand that you absorb the energy she's projecting without feeding into it. You must understand this. Masculine presence is not about reacting to every jab, every provocation. Instead, it takes what is given and redirects it with grace and composure. It's the path of wisdom that teaches that, to be truly powerful, one doesn't need to strike back or answer in kind. This applies in modern life too, whether in relationships or business. The most commanding figures are those who maintain their calm under pressure, not those who jump at every sarcastic comment or criticism. When faced with her sarcastic remarks, it's vital to recognize that they aren't meant to cut you down. They are, in fact, an invitation to show your true character. She wants to know if you can stay centered in the face of her playful resistance. This is where the old Stoic teachings come into play. The Stoics knew that emotional mastery was key to understanding oneself and one's environment. It's the ability to absorb tension, control one's reactions, and always remain steadfast in the face of adversity. This wisdom is more important than ever in our modern, fast-paced world, where everything seems designed to provoke emotional responses. You have to ask yourself, can you be the calm in the storm? Can you, like the Stoics, let the winds blow and remain unaffected by them? If you want to truly understand the dynamics at play, you need to look at her behaviour through the lens of wisdom. The sarcasm she displays is not an attack. It is an invitation to prove your worth, to show that you can absorb the tension and transform it into something positive. This is where the masculine presence becomes magnetic. It isn't in the harshness or the loudness of a response, but in the subtle strength of silence. Your unshaken composure gives her the space to explore her own curiosity and attraction. As you navigate these moments, remember the ancient wisdom of the Stoics. Don't fight the wind. Learn to sail with it. Your response, or lack thereof, is your power. Instead of retaliating, absorb the sarcasm and use it as fuel for growth. Don't feel compelled to react in kind. This is the path of wisdom, one that leads to emotional mastery and ultimately a deeper connection. If you found this insight valuable, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember. True strength lies in staying calm and unshaken, no matter the provocation. 9. She stares at you when she thinks you're not looking. When a woman is drawn to you, her attention doesn't stop when you're not looking. In fact, it's when you think she isn't paying attention that the most important signals emerge. She watches you in the quiet moments, when you're not engaged in conversation, when the room falls silent, when the spotlight is no longer on you. This is the primal instinct at play, mate scanning. She's not just looking for eye contact during the back and forth of a conversation. No, she's observing how you move in the world without needing the approval or acknowledgement of others. She is studying your presence, not through words, but through your stillness, your composure. In these moments, she is seeing more than your exterior. She's testing your emotional resilience, your ability to maintain your ground, and your capacity to command respect without uttering a single word. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, warned, Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This is the very essence of true power, the ability to stand unmoved, unaffected by the world around you, to hold your space and your value, regardless of external validation. When a woman sees this quality in you, she isn't just admiring your confidence, she is witnessing the quiet authority that comes from knowing who you are. A man who is not only aware of his worth, but who carries it without any need for applause. This is why it's crucial to own those moments. Be intentional with your stillness. Don't seek approval from anyone, least of all from her. You're not performing. You're living. You're letting the world know you are who you say you are. This is the essence of Stoicism, and it's the very principle that wins. Stoicism wins. Always. The world respects the man who stands firm in silence, who doesn't require external validation to assert his worth. This is the power of silence. Be comfortable in it. Embrace it. She will take notice. And remember, true strength lies in being still when others falter, in holding your space with unshakable certainty. You're not just being observed, you're being tested for your ability to stand tall, unbothered by distractions, focused on your own internal equilibrium. The message here is clear. Don't let external forces, whether it's a woman's gaze or the judgments of the crowd, shake your foundation. Own your space, hold your worth, and let your actions speak louder than your words. Stoicism wins, and those who practice it attract not just attention, but respect. Don't just exist in a room, command it. 10. She remembers what you forgot. Men often wonder what drives a woman's attraction, especially when they find themselves caught in the subtle currents of her gaze, words, and actions. This is the power of the Stoic principles, to understand the unseen forces at play in human interaction, to interpret those signs not just as coincidence, but as deliberate, calculated responses. The fact is, women have a deep ability to remember what we, as men, often forget, the little things that others might dismiss, a glance, a phrase, a fleeting detail you never even considered. She will recall them as if they were etched in stone. What you wore on that particular day, the tone in your voice when you made a joke, the exact moment you left the room. For many, this might seem like innocent attention to detail, but it's far more powerful than that. It's psychological gravity at work, something almost impossible to escape, a force that enters the mind unnoticed, triggering a sense of connection and influence. This isn't romance in the conventional sense. This is something much deeper, rooted in how attraction manifests in the subtlest ways. Her emotional system flags moments when you spike her interest, often without either of you fully realizing what has happened. It's not a random reaction. It's a pattern-marking process that is deeply embedded in the iron mind and ancient knowledge of human nature. This pattern marking is a critical component of how women subconsciously react to men they secretly find attractive, and it's tied to the principles that men often overlook in their pursuit of understanding women. Understanding this concept requires you to lean into the old Stoic wisdom that teaches us to observe before we act, to stay present, and to understand that every moment counts. What may seem trivial to you can become a deeply significant marker in her emotional landscape. The wise man doesn't chase, he observes. He doesn't need to try for effect. He knows the effect he has, because he is present in the moment, aware of how he is perceived, and how every word, action, and gesture can leave an imprint on others. This goes beyond simple attraction. It's about the creation of psychological ties that form between people, often before either person fully realizes it. It's crucial to understand the mechanics of how women operate on an emotional level, particularly when attraction is involved. The key point here is that women react not just to grand gestures or obvious flirtation, but to the intricate, often overlooked details. These can be things you might never even notice, yet they make a significant impact. These small moments, which you might not even remember, are the ones she locks away in her mind. As a man, you must recognize the power of these moments and how they serve as the foundation for her attraction toward you. The old Stoic wisdom tells us to be aware of every action and its ripple effect. When you exhibit control over your thoughts and behaviors, when you show that you can remain steady in every situation, it makes you more attractive, not because you seek her attention, but because you are a force of nature, calm, composed, and deliberate in everything you do. Think about this for a moment. The most powerful form of attraction is not always physical. It's often psychological, woven into the very fabric of your interactions. Women will notice the tiny things you don't think about, how you carry yourself, how you respond to stress, how you react to others around you. These actions, your demeanor, and the way you communicate can create an invisible bond. You don't have to try hard. You just need to be your authentic self. If you embody the iron mind, the Stoic principles of strength and clarity, you will find that women naturally gravitate towards you. She remembers what you forgot because, for her, every moment with you is an opportunity to create a pattern that aligns with her deeper emotions. This doesn't mean you need to constantly perform for her attention. It means you need to become attuned to how you present yourself, how your character, consistency, and emotional strength create an invisible pull. This is where the Stoic philosophy comes into play again. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, said Epictetus. This principle isn't just about material wealth, it's about emotional wealth too. Men who are stoically in control of their emotions don't chase validation. They don't overextend themselves in trying to impress. Instead, they embody strength, resilience, and clarity in their lives. They understand that their presence alone speaks volumes. They are aware of how their behavior and emotional state affect others, especially women. She may not consciously acknowledge it, but your steady, strong presence leaves a lasting impact. It's not about showing off, but about being the kind of man who doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. Your actions speak louder than words. You embody the Stoic principles through your very existence, and that becomes something magnetic. So, what should you take away from this? First, realize that attraction isn't always something overt. It's not about grand gestures or attempting to win someone over. It's about being aware of your impact on others and recognizing that even the smallest detail can make a big difference. Remember, she remembers what you forgot. Those small moments you overlook may be the very moments that create the most profound attraction. Embrace the Stoic wisdom of being present and mindful of every action, every word, and every gesture. Let go of the need for validation and instead focus on embodying strength and integrity. Become the type of man who commands respect and attention, not through force or attention-seeking behavior, but through quiet power, emotional control, and consistency. Women will be drawn to you not because you're trying to make an impression, but because your presence creates a psychological pull that's impossible to ignore. It's time to stop chasing, to stop performing, and to start embodying the principles of Stoic wisdom. Focus on yourself, your growth, and your character. The more you cultivate these traits, the more others, particularly women, will naturally gravitate towards you. They will notice the details you've forgotten, and you'll enter their minds without even trying. This is how attraction works on a deeper, more psychological level. Embrace the old Stoic wisdom and let it shape how you live, how you interact, and how you create meaningful connections with others. Don't wait for her to notice. Be the kind of man who doesn't need to be noticed to make an impact. Hey there. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I really hope that today's video gave you some valuable insights into how women react to men they secretly find attractive, and why this reaction is so deeply tied to timeless wisdom, like the teachings of the ancient Stoics. The truth is, when it comes to attraction and relationships, people, especially women, are not just looking for someone who's eager to win their attention. They're looking for someone who knows who they are, someone who can lead not only in their external actions, but with their internal strength as well. This is where the old Stoic wisdom comes in. It's all about emotional control, rational thinking, and confidence that doesn't need to prove itself to anyone. If you're tired of chasing after people or trying to figure out how to play the game, here's a simple shift in mindset. Stop focusing on the outcome. and start focusing on becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts others through confidence, wisdom, and emotional maturity. Women can tell when someone is genuine, when they aren't afraid to be themselves, and when they can handle situations with a calm, collected mindset. That's a trait that no amount of effort or pick-up lines will ever be able to replicate. And that's where Stoic wisdom really shines. The Stoics teach us that what we can control is our own actions, thoughts, and emotions. We don't need to constantly chase after approval or try to predict how others will respond to us. What's most important is how we carry ourselves and the way we respond to challenges. When you focus on being the best version of yourself, on building resilience, self-discipline, and confidence, you'll attract the right kind of people, and you'll do it in a way that feels natural, not forced. So here's my advice to you. Don't waste time chasing after anyone's approval. Instead, focus on understanding yourself, mastering your emotions, and living with a sense of purpose. Lead your life with wisdom, not by desperation, and you'll notice how the right people start to gravitate toward you. Confidence is built from within. It's about standing firm in who you are, no matter what's going on around you. If you're ready to stop chasing and start leading, if you're ready to embrace a mindset that not only helps you attract others, but also helps you live a more fulfilled and intentional life, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll be here to help guide you through this journey and offer more insights on how to apply Stoic wisdom to real-life situations. Thanks again for watching. Take care, keep leading with wisdom, and always remember that true strength comes from within.